Hello everybody, welcome back to another day in the arena. But Wednesday will not be just another day in the arena. Wednesday will be the Dominaria pre-release event. I've been invited by Wizards of the Coast to participate using a stocked account full of goodies that they are providing to show off the latest set, Dominaria. And that is from 1 to 5 Pacific time, North America Pacific time zone, 1 to 5 p.m. on Wednesday, April 25th. And hopefully you can come out and support the channel on Twitch. There will be a link in description. Would love to see you there just to support me as I battle 26 other streamers. Some of them the most popular streamers in MTG and some professional gamers from the Hearthstone community and things like that. So I've got my work cut out for me. It will be a challenge and your support would be appreciated. If you can just drop by the channel, do some lurking, it would mean plenty to me. And that, again, April 25th, Wednesday, 1 to 5 p.m. North American Pacific time zone. If you can't catch it, I have received permission to upload my video to YouTube. You can watch it later. So don't panic. It will come to YouTube if you can't make it. But if you are available that day, I would love to see your face. Or, you know, not see your face. You know what I mean. Your username, whatever it is. All right. But here today, the mission is to kill 20 of my opponent's creatures. If we do that, we get 500 gold. I believe I can handle such a task, but probably not with the merfolk deck. Probably need to use something that has more kill spells. In fact, none of these really have that. Approach is all about that exile, not killing, so I guess I need a new deck. You may see that I delete my decks pretty often. It's because at the speed at which I unlock cards, the card unlocking rate, I always need to rebuild them from scratch rather than try to find what card I unlocked when and add it to the deck. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. I want to play Search for Azcanta, Scarab God, and Locust God and Bolas out of blue, but I think that that's going to be it. Just a really light blue splash. I don't even think I want counter spells because why? We want to kill creatures, not counter creatures. I want my 500 gold. So plenty of black cards help us do that. Moment of Craving right near the top of the list in an environment full of, you know what's out there, guys. You've seen enough of my arena videos. If this is your first one, what I'm talking about is the red decks. Reaver Ambush Exiles, which is actually a lot better than Vanquish the Weak, but hey, quests, gotta be smart about it. And moving right up the chain, if we're not countering things, we may as well be Chupacabra-ing things, and we probably still need some exile, and Vraska's Contempt is the best of the bunch. A Planeswalker's nice. And what else can we do? We definitely would also love the Magma Sprays, even though the Exile's the thing. There's just nothing better than a Magma Spray. The Lightning Strikes and the Abrade are probably great calls. Sweltering Suns is over here somewhere, of which I have a single copy that can kill a bunch of things. And so can an Hour of Devastation. Rawr. Glorybringer. Would probably love to breathe some fire on something. Sounds like a good card. Scarab God, of course. Locust God. Very fun card. I don't know if we'll keep both. Struggle's probably coming right back out, though, because we're not playing green, but Bolas. Yeah, Bolas, Lord of Destruction over here. And then on these lands, we need some stuff like this. The blue is the closest thing to a splash, but since we are running Search for Azcanta, we do need it kind of early, so I guess we need a full group of Evolving Wilds, probably a Field of Ruin, and a few Cinder Barons, since black and red are our main colors. Let's cut that, get out of there. Go up to 4 here. 2's fine, probably. You definitely want another one in case the opponent takes out your only island with, I don't know, a Star of Extinction or something ridiculous. And I guess we can go up on the Barons a little bit more to make sure that we have our black and red mana. What's that leave us for land? 25. One more. I guess we'll just add one more mountain so we have more untapped lands. And that leaves us at 26 lands with about 4 cards to cut. So Vanquish the Weak is probably the weakest of the group, leaving us down to 2 cards. We can go to 1 Locust God. We don't need likely as many win conditions as we have here. And we'll take out the Struggle to Survive. Okay. Die, critters, die. So that's going to be our quest deck for the day. Who wants to run this joint? We'll have Bolas's Hour of Devastation run the joint. And we'll see how many games it takes us to kill that many critters. Hopefully we don't get paired against Creatureless Approach. Zero Enna Maverick. I believe I've seen their decks on a few of the sites that post arena decks. Aether Hub is one. The Magic Arena Wiki is one. It's hard to remember what I saw where. Just know that they exist. Alright, so may as well just kill things. But since it can't get out of Magma Spray range, we'll resolve the trigger in case he had a decision to make on his scry. We want him to do that without the knowledge that his creature is dead. Alright. The basics are showing, and somehow taking care of most of our color requirements. And we're all set for Carnage Tyrant, if that should become a thing. Sheltering Thicket, and go. So a little pausing from our opponent, implying Lightning Strike potential. We'll play Field of Ruin. If our opponent doesn't do anything worth killing, we can field their Thicket and fix our black mana so that we have double black for when we need it. And it looks like that's going to happen. We could save it for something like an Oasis or a Ramanop Ruins, but I'm just not going to overthink that, as you really don't know if they run those in their deck. And we'll get the swamp, our opponent will get the forest, no surprises. We draw another land, that's enough of those now. Opponent sitting on that Lightning Strike, thinking about all the nasty things to do with it. And here's Captain Lannery. So we will Moment of Crave Lannery here. Before it attacks and before she attacks, makes a treasure token. And what are we getting? I suppose black mana. You never know when you might need to use a Golden Demise and a Moment of Craving on the same turn, and we have plenty of double black cards. Ravenous Chupacabra. Alright, just gonna keep hiding the blue mana for as long as possible. Might get our opponent to play something like a Brontodon if they're not afraid of a search for Azcanta, but it looks like they're low on critter action. And all the basics have come out to play. All the removal spells in hand, so just give me targets. Got 1 creature down, 13 to go. What could our opponent be sitting on with all that in hand? Is it really Lightning Strikes, Magma Sprays, all the burn spells? Since red is the most popular deck, these red-green mid-range decks do play what seems like a very, very high number of removal spells, more than I think they normally would. Since this can't get out Lightning Strike range, we'll let our opponent make the decision on what to keep. That's an annoying one. And we'll probably require double Lightning Strike to deal with it. I'm fortunate that we have double Lightning Strike. I could play the Chupa, but I just want to save that for something bigger, since it's what you would call unconditional removal. It can kill a Galta, for example, an Itali. And that Phoenix on top representing a 2-for-1. We still had the Field of Ruin. We could have shuffled it away now, but unfortunately, not the way it went down. Alright, I think we'll see our draw step just in case it's a Vraska's Contempt. We have no lack of mana. And a Chupacabra is there. So I think we'll just wait, let our opponent do all this on the opponent's turn. And before attacks, we'll throw the lightning strike at the Phoenix. Okay, next timing will be end step striking the token. Or we could take our draw step now that the branch walkers come down and just find out if we draw a sweeper. Make the sweeper very good. That is a very good card to top, but he should have binned it. I think that's a mistake. Gives me a chance to exile this if I draw a Magma Spray, but let's see what we draw. We might draw a Golden Demise, something like that. Instead, it's a Moment of Craving. Okay then, so if the Kenra's coming down, it can stop the Ravenous Chupacabra from attacking. We need to do this sometime. So we may as well do it now. Let's throw a Moment of Craving over here. And we can save everything else. Since he decided to draw this instead of bin it, I feel like we don't want to kill it, which is awkward with Vona's Hunger. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to play that as we get into this battle. Lightning strike this. And try to hold out for a Magma Spray or Vraska's Contempt for the Kenra, because you do need that exile somewhere. Golden Demise, you're a little late. Let's see. We could just let him bring it back and Vona's Hunger the token. I'm going to give it another turn to see if he adds to the board something I can use Golden Demise and just kill both, so that I'm not as down in another 2-for-1, since we already took a 2-for-1 to the Phoenix. So I'm just going to wait for a turn or two. See if I can get my opponent to add to the board. Okay. If it reveals a land, we're in business. And we do. Fortunate. That is lucky. But sometimes lucky is good. Ooh. Well, we drew a win condition, but nothing to play with it right now, which is pretty bad. And this feels like our opponent will have at least a struggle to survive, possibly multiple struggle to survives in their deck, so we got to play around that a little. So right here, we're just going to Golden Demise these. And end the turn. I think if our opponent, if their only play for the turn is to bring back Kenra and attack, we'll just Chupacabra the Kenra rather than use a Vona's Hunger, because Carnage Tyrant could still be in the picture. I think I can take 4. My life total's feeling all right. And I don't really want to play the Scarab God yet. So that's a good draw too. Let's get the Chupacabra online. I'm sure it will just eat a Magma Spray or something of that nature, but that's okay. And the Bloodfast, should I just get it down? If our opponent has a Brontodon, I guess I just trade 1-for-1 with the Brontodon. So I don't think that's a big deal. Scavenger Grounds. That's annoying. Cycling a Sheltered Thicket. So our opponent was holding the Scavenger Grounds and drew the Thicket most likely, or I think they would have cycled it before. There's a Lightning Strike. No surprise there, but Scavenger Grounds is certainly an annoying card. But fortunately, the Bloodfast can probably pull us well ahead. He only has 1, so he can pitch all the deserts 1 time. Let's go for the Doomfall, see what our opponent is holding. And there are 2 struggle to survives, so yuck. But I guess we can play it. He'll shuffle it in, and then he'll come back. So just gonna hold up the Bloodfast. Use that at end of turn most likely. An on-crop Crasher. Let's just Vona's Hunger it away. And add to that quest to kill 13 creatures. Perhaps our opponent can supply us with the 13 right here, right now. Here's a Field of Ruin for the Scavenger Grounds. I don't know if I can catch my opponent tapped with it. See, if we can somehow get them to tap their mana and we take it out, that's better and the graveyards don't get exiled. But I guess at this point, we gotta say goodbye to the graveyards. So I don't see that actually working out, but we don't have to do it on our turn. We can do it on their turn and use mana on their turn. Okay. Go like this. Draw some cards. All right, see if our opponent wishes to exile graveyards. And yes, they do. Whew, everybody out of the pool. All right. Well, unfortunate, untimely draw of the search for Azcanta. But I suppose we'll deploy it and start racking up the value. And yeah. And we'll continue to hold off on Scarab God. I still would love to play it when I can also get something back, since we know the struggle to survive is going to hit it. Or I can wait on another Doomfall. So right now there's not a big rush. And we can also pile up some more cards. Willing to go reasonably low here. As long as I have instant speed removal, I don't think my opponent pulling out a ton of lightning strikes is too likely. Graveyard the other search, as they're not good in multiples. Very tempting just to play the Scarab God, let things get reshuffled, but maybe I can flip Azcanta first by being patient. So that's what I'm going to keep trying to do. Because once the graveyards are shuffled, you have to start over searching for Azcanta. Like, Azcanta, where did you go? How annoying. Deathgorge Scavenger to attack the graveyard a little bit. Nothing I can do about that. Killing it in response won't do anything, so we'll just wait till end step and see if our opponent makes any other choices before firing the lightning strike. And I think we can... I should just draw 2 cards here and play Scarab God, and then I can sack it for life. My opponent will struggle it, but I gain 5 life right back and I have the temple flipped. Or I'll play a Glorybringer and have that. All right, so we'll go to 4, but not to 3 because of our opponent could have a lightning strike. And my turn. Triggers on. Transform. The temple lets you sacrifice a creature to gain life. Oh man. Is that what I need? I don't actually think that's what I need. I think it's perfectly fine to put that in the graveyard. I don't need it now, and Struggle will shuffle it back in almost certainly. So we can draw it later. Not missing out on too much. Alright, there is a Deathgorge Scavenger in the yard. So I could play Scarab God and get the Scavenger. I guess that's pretty good. It keeps Glorybringer up, and it gives me something to sacrifice. So we'll go for it. And here it comes. Oh, strike your face. Interesting. Okay. Struggle your Scarab God? Not yet. Jadelight Ranger off the top. So that's something I can kill and get back, and it has more value to me anyway than the Scavenger. But if this is in the graveyard, Scavenger can also eat it and I can gain life. Let's see what happens here. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So he keeps an on-crop crasher. Interesting. Are we struggling now? See, if he uses the other side of struggle right here, he loses the on-crop crasher, so I guess he just wanted to make sure his creature got bigger. So let's... get the Scavenger. Exile... Which one's my opponent's Lightning Strike? I think it's the most recently used one, right? Decline. Because it pointed to the wrong one. And now, sacrifice a creature, gain life equal to its toughness. And resolve. And here is survive, so we shuffle them all back in. And next turn we'll have the Glorybringer to take out the Jadelight Ranger. And hopefully get to the process of finding our Scarab God again. Right. So, red, red, black, black, black. Bring out Glory Dragon. Move to combat. Move to attacks. Let's exert. Attack with both. And our opponent has seen enough. Seen enough of the beating, and we're halfway to killing 20 creatures. So our first 200 gold and an accursed horde. All right, let's see who wants the next round. Please play a creature deck, Hans. I couldn't bear to sit through an approach matchup with this. Can't really keep that. I can keep this, but gonna get rough, I suspect. If our opponent is any kind of an assertive aggro-ish deck, it could get rough. Yep, go ahead. What do the wilds reveal? Blue mana. Blue-black, perhaps? Might be hard to kill a lot of creatures. Blue-white. What does blue-white have? Could it be approach? Could it be tokens? Could it be something? Anything? Looks like it might be either the Embalm, Eternalize, or the GPG pile. Did ditch a Binding, which makes me nervous about playing Search for Azcanta. Because it usually means that they have another Ixalan's Binding. Which is not where you want your Search for Azcanta to lead to. Not really what you're looking for, people. Charting that course, so lots of chart the course, lots of strategic planning. No Embalm creatures. So this might be approach. No creatures of any kind yet. We're gonna graveyard you. Okay. Guess that will get a red. Unlikely that we can do anything about approach. Not playing counter spells. Not playing, anything too assertive. Then there's the cast out. So they had a Binding-ish card for the search. And there is the great hope. The great hope that will likely never be, but if by some magic they turn out to have a bunch of Slash of Talons and stuff in hand. Ah, Anointer Priest. So maybe this is tokens? I'm getting very confused, to be sure. How to deal with that is an interesting question. If we just hit it with the Vona's Hunger. But if we don't use the Vona's Hunger... So the other thing to do with Vona's Hunger is to wait till you have City's Blessing and you can wipe out a huge amount of tokens. Is that the play? I don't know. My opponent's play so far has been so strange. Like, it looks like a control-ish deck, and then it plays an Anointer Priest. So that's funky, I would say. Do I play a Chupacabra? I'm just going to play it. There's definitely, well, wait, there are things like Angel of Sanctions we definitely want to hit with this. So if we go Nicole Bolas and our opponent goes Angel of Sanctions, we take it out, which we can Magma Spray the Angel and then hit it with Chupacabra to exile it. So I guess that's a line we can be smart and play around. Almost every deck of this type has one Angel Sanctions because it's a mythic that you're given with the starter decks. So even though it's mythic and pretty fringe and standard, I would say it's something to play around with here in the arena, or to play around in general. All right, let's see if Nicol Bolas resolves and can do some work. And I think we go right after the hand. If it were discard, I would not go after the hand, but since it's exile, we will go after the hand. And we hit a Vizier and a Shafet Dune, so our opponent likely regretting not getting that Shafet Dunes on the table, trying to save it for a surprise. And it's an Ixalan's Binding, so it is not what we wanted it to be. How sad. Our opponent's down to one card. I guess I'll go with a Magma Spray on the Priest, so it exiles, and a Chupacabra to get some pressure on the board since I don't like us in the long game against an Arch of Vraska. And we'll need to draw another Planeswalker, Scarab God, Locust God. Something big and juicy here very quickly, I think. There you go, Caracol's a beating. How about that City Blessing? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Urgh. Not yet, that's for sure. Opponent's going to attack here. Let's abrade the nonsense that is the big kitty. And then if that goes through, we'll block a token. I don't think it's anything to shoot our cards at the other ones. And a Slash of Talons to take out the Chupacabra. Fun. Opponent with a very, very control-y token deck. Control-y as they get, and us with more spot removal. Not good. But on the bright side, there are creatures to target. Just really hoping that before I die, I can get this Vona's Hunger to City's Blessing to get some extra creatures. Our opponent doing the very, very slow version of tapping to activate Arch. This is where the auto tap saves a ton of time for anybody who's scared of using it. It's just so much better when you need to activate, it's like 5 mana repeatedly, turn after turn for something like Arch of Vraska. Let's see. I take it up to 16, down to 13, down to... Yeah, it definitely changes the clock to use a Moment of Craving here. But I still, I think, want to save it to combine with something else in case we need to exile some kind of a token maker. Sunscourge Champion, something like that. I think we just have to count on drawing a sweeper if we're going to clean up these cats. Otherwise, we'll just be down too many cards. We're already dealing with an arch, so everything's going against us right now. There's another good reason to wait. Chafet Dunes. We can catch the dunes. Alright, Adorned Pouncer, sure. Let's see if we draw. Well, we know we want to exile that. Yeah, we know we want to exile that. And mana could be an issue. And it's just another land. Opponent's gonna take the slow road again to drawing cards. So a good time to catch our breath. Give a little stretch. Think about where this game went wrong. Was there anything to really be done differently? I don't think so. I think Bolas had to come down and do his work, and whether our opponent was holding the binding or drew it, they just had the right card at the right moment. Spot removal's not good against a bunch of tokens. Just the way it is. The way the world works. Rivulet, island, so probably some non-land thing, or else he would keep the rivulet, so it must be something useful. Dunes going off. We'll resolve that. And I'll hold out, because, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I draw one more land, Vona's Hunger can kill multiple kitties and help us with our quest. So I'm going to hold out for that. A Doomfall. Let's hit the hand, I suppose. Crested Sunmare, good hit. Also a Baffling End in the land that gains 1 life out of Grixis. Interesting. They must have kept the Sunmare off the strategic planning, but then they could have played it. Kind of strange turn, I think. I wonder why that Grixis land isn't revealed anymore. I know about it, but it stopped revealing. What do you suppose is up with that, CGB universe? MTG Arena, time to report. Time to report some bugs, some buggies. Okay, we'll let him attack. Hit him with that hunger. Get me some more critters, more dead critters. This will make him sacrifice 2 creatures instead of 1. Alright, I guess we're still not dead. Go ahead and hold that since we already have 10 permanents on the battlefield. Drew our 11th land at a time where I really needed my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th spell, I guess you could say. Opponent still taking the slow train to glory. Do you have any other token cards? It's like the most controlling token deck I think I've ever seen in my life. Hello. Is there an Essence Scatter? No. I guess we'll just hold up the loot since it's nothing we would play this turn anyway. try to make it a glorious surprise. I'm sure my opponent has a cast out of an Ixalan's Binding. It seems to be what their deck is all about. After they've seen so many cards, it would make sense. And then they have a Baffling End for the token anyway. So if they kill the Locust God before combat, they can still Baffling End the token. And you see the slow-mo tapping going on. And it's the Angel of Sanctions we feared. And our opponent still has mana up for the Baffling End. So we'll concede this game. Not the way you want it to go. And we'll see if we can go find an opponent with more creatures that we can kill, as we only have 6 to go. But if you do play Arena, please play around with auto tap. I know it can screw you if you use it all the time, but you can manually tap your lands at any point during the auto tap process. This is a really tempting keep because it's good with just any land. The Golden Demise can help us catch up if we fall way behind early. It has a win condition. It has a card selection engine. It has multiple removal. So I think I'm actually going to try it, although there's definitely a case to mulligan it too. My argument is any land makes it a very playable hand, and a blue land certainly does, as it allows us to play the Azcanta. And our opponent on the merfolk, what I don't want to see here is a Deeproot Elite, and that is not a Deeproot Elite, so feeling fortunate. Hashtag blessed. Deeproot Elite does have the potential to grow some merfolk out of range of a Golden Demise. And now the search for Azcanta is pretty much going to bin anything that isn't red mana until we have our red mana too, and this hand will shape right up, I hope. Opponent showing us an unclaimed territory instead of a hash up oasis and saying go. Could mean a Swift Warden, something like that. So I think we'll Doomfall the hand and at least find out what our opponent's trying to set us up with. They definitely have something instant speed because now they're holding their the timer on my search for Azcanta, which is very rude. We're gonna have to graveyard you, Lily. You are not red mana. Alright, well that can set us up with red, but then we don't do the Doomfall. No, I think we do the Doomfall this turn. If there's a counter spell or something like that, it'll come right out. If there isn't. Okay, there's the Swift Warden. And a Seafloor, Oracle, and an Unsummoned. So we'll grab the Oracle for sure. See what our opponent wants to do with their next turn here. The Unsummoned could be annoying. It could break up our Vraska's Contempt, for example. So we'll have to see how we can get it out of their hand. We're going to take 6, so we are on the clock here. Opponent in the tank. There's no way that they can use the Oasis this turn if that's what they're thinking about, so their latest draw must be an interesting one. Or they're just thinking that some players think a lot in this game. Could just be that. And passing turn. So if it's a creature they didn't want to add to the board, that is a really good one to follow up the Golden Demise, where our opponent's most likely going to unsummon their Branchwalker and replay it anyway. This is a very good one, so we'll keep that on the library and draw it. And we'll go for Golden Demise. Yeah, if you don't have a counterspell, it seems a very straightforward play to me to get the Branch Walker back. Not the biggest blowout in the history of Golden Demises on merfolk, unfortunately, but you gotta play it out the way that the game presents. It is another Swift Warden. That is quite the top deck. Great for this situation. We'll have to try to find like another untapped land to try to trade our Chupacabra for the other Swift Warden. And here is the Branch Walker's return. Shade Bearer on top. Not good enough. And a Mistbinder is the next draw. My god. So we got the treatment from our opponent's deck, and there's nothing else to really say there. Because I think our draw was good, not great, and just the opponent's deck gave it the treatment. We also didn't draw a land, which we needed badly so that we could Magma Spray and Chupacabra. So at this point, the game is over, but I can still work on my quest. So let's do that. And amazingly, we played against merfolk and still have 4 creatures to go, which is oh so frustrating. Oh, so frustrating that I couldn't kill more merfolk. I would have thought that would be one of the very fun matchups with our deck, but maybe the hand I kept was just too slow. On the draw, perhaps that's a good reason not to. Opponent wants to have manners. Fine enough, but I'm going to destroy you. How much do I care about this? I guess I'll at least hold this up for if they're going to put an aura on it of some kind. And it's an Anointer Priest. I think we'll just spray this then, as our opponent now has a better target for their auras with the Anointer Priest. But since they might be auras, we'll continue to hold up the removal. 6 lands, a bit much. Hopefully we draw through that. Second Glacial Fortress, our opponent with sweet mana. And it looks like we're going to be playing against another round of the tokens. So much fun. But, hey, this is one of the times I actually would love to see how the red deck matchup goes because of the amount of removal and lack of counterspells. But then I'm not going to miss the red deck anytime soon. So, count our blessings. Opponent in the tank. What could they be concerned with? You have Anointed Procession. I'm pretty sure you play Anointed Procession. Not too complicated to me. There you go. So like I said, I just don't understand people. Don't understand what we're thinking about here. Demise, interesting, probably not great. We can take out the cat, he can bring back dub cats, and then we can demise them, but all we did really was deal with one thing. But I guess it's better than sitting here doing nothing and letting our clock continue to run down, so to speak, if the opponent's just picking at us. Champion of Wits. That would have been a good reason to hang on to the Moment of Craving. Although I'd rather have a Magma Spray, Hour of Devastation. That can clear off what happens when he brings the champ back, I suppose, but he's still gonna draw a bajillion. Still, Not a lot of choice, and we should hit our quest right there. So, quest complete. Now it's like, I guess I need to draw, again, I need to draw Bolas, Liliana, Scarab God, and for our opponent to lack the answer. Once they get to 7 mana, if they bring this back and use it twice, the game is basically over. We don't have anything that matches that level of card selection. Okay, great. Champion of Wits is really like a great engine for the deck, and probably the reason my version of it isn't very good is if you have 4 champion, it just sort of plays on another level. I'll just take this damage. There's the second priest. Lots of life, I get it. Okay, search is something. Our opponent almost certainly has a cast out or something of that nature. But let's find out. Let's go ahead and Abrade the Anointer Priest. If he brings it back, the Hour of Devastation can then sweep a lot away. Instead, it's a Regal Caracal, which we can sweep that away too. Field of Ruin doesn't do anything here. Another land. Roar. Can flip the Azcanta next turn. Hopefully find, I don't know, what's powerful enough to handle this? Pretty much nothing. This is just not the matchup you want. But we can try to at least do some neat Nicol Bolas shenanigans. Maybe we can plus Nicol Bolas, hit their Anointed. Never mind, they have another Anointed Procession, so... I was going to say hit one Anointed Procession, sort of keep up. But I am beyond the point where this is going to work out. Obviously, caring about this won't do much. At least we got to flip his Azcanta and didn't get it Ixalan's Binding or something like that. Vona's Hunger hits half their tokens if we hit one more permanent, so that's why I kept that one. Oh, that must be nice. So now it's time for like Super Champion of Wits, which I'm not gonna sit around and watch. But we did get our quest done. I would not recommend playing that deck that I played. It's too reactive, and it definitely doesn't handle, you saw the weakness to tokens, no doubt about that. So I will post the deck list, but not recommended. Just a quest. Just tried to have a fun quest playing the part of the Grixis kill everything. I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember to come out on Wednesday, and I will see you later.